Hello everybody on YouTube. Glad to see you can make it today. You are interested in this title. I've been accumulating information in order to bring you this video. But first, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for more notifications on videos that I post that are informative, educational, and may even help you in your journey in truck driving or life. Not that I have all the secrets, but I like to share things that I learned along the way. That way we can all be informed to make good decisions. So with that, any of you who have followed my videos know that I have recently, a month and a half ago, entered into this particular truck. It is a 2021 Kenworth T680. And it has a PACCAR. Now there are two PACCAR motors that these trucks can come with. There is an MX11 and an MX13. The MX11 is the lower horsepower standard of between 400 and 450, 1,700 foot-pounds of torque. So it is the lighter hauler of the edition for fuel economy. Then there is the MX13. Can be anywhere from 510 to 550 horsepower, higher, much higher torque and this and that. This particular truck actually has an MX13. And so I had got with maintenance and stuff like that to figure out the truck, engine and all that type of stuff. So anyways, I like this truck. I've been impressed with the PACCAR motor, particularly, now there are some pros and cons, and I'll get into that because I think you should know all of that. I'm trying to be as objective as I can, because you've seen maybe some of the videos I've done when I've done on a series of different motors in comparison. I did some time ago, a couple years ago, I think. It's one of my highest watched videos. So this motor here, it pulls very well, especially up inclines and things like that. It has a really good Jake brake. I like it. It doesn't get off the start quick, so it doesn't have the highest gearing starting off when it takes off, so you're not going to beat anybody off the line. This is made to pull, not to race. And in light of that, for the torque to also have complementary fuel economy, because there's times when I'm like today, I'm hauling almost 43,000 pounds in my trailers, so that puts me at around 77,000 total. That includes my truck and trailer weight, and I'm fully fueled up all the way to the caps. So that adds 200, and I believe I have a 220 gallon capacity in fuel. So you got to understand that adds 7 pounds per gallon of diesel fuel on top of all that other stuff. So anyways, as this truck pulls very well, and I'm getting, even with almost 42,000 pounds in my trailer, I'm at about 7.7 miles per gallon. And I'm in Michigan, lower Michigan, so it's kind of flat, and that's pretty good. I was actually climbing. I was actually probably going to hit about 8.1 in that area. When I'm empty, the fuel economy is obviously way better. But this truck actually pulls its best when it has a significant amount of weight. It's interesting. This truck actually likes weight. It drives very well with heavy loads, and it actually gets really good fuel economy. Now, when you hit the hills and the mountains, that's when your fuel economy tanks. That's goes without saying. I've been as low as 6 and as high as 8.2, 8.3 with heavy loads, even loads at my max capacity at just a tick under 80,000, up the mountains and everything else. And even up these steep inclines and mountains, I'm still pulling, really hard and with a lot of power. It's like you're going through US 22. I don't know how many of you know about US 22 in Pennsylvania. Some of them are very steep. I'm still doing 35, 40 miles an hour, up those steep inclines. And even out west, it's the same thing. The truck pulls very well, but it's not going to win in a race. But this is not about a race. It's about your truck performance. Now, those of you who don't understand the difference between horsepower and torque, this is a good video for you, because I'm about to explain it to you in layman's terms, how it was explained to me a long time ago. Horsepower is rated by revolutions per minute, which is RPM, and it in turns is more relevant to speed, right? Some of your higher horsepower cars, it is speed that they're after, not pulling power. So torque, on the other hand, is different. Torque is the force behind the rotation of the crank, and the force behind that rotation dictates how much and how hard that vehicle can pull. But also you have to have a good transmission, because the transmission is going to spin through its gears, is going to spin, okay, the crank shaft going to your rear end. So all that has to be complementary, and that also has to take into account your rear end. And you'll hear truck drivers talk about their rears. That's what they're talking about, axles and their rears. And so, you know, it's all this has to come into play. It has to balance out very well. Well, PACCAR makes all their own everything in that case. They have their own matching transmission. They don't use Allisons and all that type of stuff. So I find this truck, in terms of its power, it's good. It's not going to win a race, but it's good, and it does pull very well. And it pulls like a heavy hauler. Let me tell you that. It pulls like driving an 18 speed. So you know the lower gears are very high and short, and it'll run right through the gears to get you up there. So and it gets really decent fuel economy on that end. And now the things I don't like about this truck, okay? One, I don't like the cruise control. I think the cruise control in the PACCAR needs to be adjustable, because it will conk out on you and, you know, take you down to like 3 to 4 miles below your adjusted speed limit, and I don't like that, you know, because what it does is when the cruise control kicks back in, right, it has to work. Your engine has to work that much harder to get you back up to speed. So what you do in order to counteract that is, once your speedometer, you know, hits your desired cruise set speed that you have it on, just tap your throttle, and your cruise will kick back in and catch itself. Because if you don't, it's going to drop, kind of like the Freightliners do, and then it's going to catch at about 3 to 4 mile an hour under your cruise control speed limit, and then you're going to use this. It burns more fuel that way. I don't know why it's very inefficient. I don't like that. I like the Jake brake in this truck. It works very well. It even has a max. When really the max, all it does is drop you another gear. Like you'll be in 12 and you go down to 11 and you hit the max, it'll drop you down to 10. If you have to be very careful with that, because you could ruin your transmission, and also your engine will, you know, run your RPMs through the roof and possibly even blow your engine. So be very wary of that. But I do, I really like the truck. The engine, it's really quiet. I've had no issues at all. Here shortly, I'm going to be getting a PM done, oil change, stuff like that. I just checked the oil, put a little bit of oil in here. I've had the truck, like I said, for 7 weeks, actually 7 weeks. And just today, checking the oil, I put a little bit of oil in here, and but it's good. It's great. You know, I've only had to put coolant in here one time, I believe. That was it. So it's a very sound truck. Also, the air tanks air up really fast. That's a huge plus. But this is not about all that. This is about the PACCAR, and it does a good job. I like it. The old PACCAR I drove out of the 2019 Pete 579. I thought that was a good motor. That was an MX13, and it got really good fuel economy, and I was really happy with it, and I never had an issue with it. The old PACCARs, 2016 and prior to that, there was a lot of issues with those PACCARs. You have to be very careful. You know, you have to really, if you're going to buy a PACCAR, in that age, probably maybe even 2017 and back, it's best to get it thoroughly inspected, possibly even scoped. And what I mean by scoped is what they do is they'll put a camera down into the block, and see if there's any damage, especially dealing with seals in the old PACCARs and turbos and things like that. So PACCAR is coming a long way, and I think they're getting really good. Very comparable. I would say in some cases, I think a little better than the Cummins. I think Detroit Diesel probably has the market on fuel economy with their DD12, I think it is, and I can't stand that motor. I don't like it. It's horrible. Those of you who know about Freightliner know what I'm talking about. Those new DD12s. The old Detroit Diesels, even the DD15s, I like those. Those are 505 horsepower, and they pull really well, and they still get good fuel economy. So this PACCAR is an MX13. It pulls great. It works good under pressure. I haven't had no issues with it, and it's a work truck. Seriously, it's a work truck. It's not a, it's not going to tiptoe. It's going to pull really well, and I get a lot of heavy loads. So, and I'm talking about heavy loads, I'm talking about 44,000. I'm talking about 42 and up. Let me put it that way. I've been talking about a lot of my loads. I don't get a lot of light loads, and so, but I make sure that my rates are comparable to heavy loads, and so at least nothing less than about $3 a mile. So those right there, it's been really good. So I've been really pleased with it. If there's anything else you want to know about this PACCAR that I can fill you in on, it is a 2013. It's a 2021, and it is an MX13. Again, it is rated from 510 to 550 horsepower, over 1,800 foot-pounds of torque. So that is my review of this motor. It has been really nice to drive this thing for the last 7 weeks. So with that, I'll bid you guys adieu. I'm going to put my email in here. Hit me up if you're interested about 22nd Century. Hit me up on my email, and we'll get you squared away. I have access to the owners and to recruiting. I'm not going to let anyone lie to you. We don't drive unicorns and run on rainbow fuel. So you're going to get this straight and narrow, okay? Very objective. I'm only going to tell you the truth. Every video I've done on 22nd Century has been the truth. If there's something I don't like about this company, I will tell you what I don't like about it. All the good stuff, I'll let you know all the good stuff, and you can make your own informed decision. And always know, I will not let anyone in this company lie to you about anything. If I know the truth, you will know the truth. So with that, I love all you guys. You guys have a peaceful and great day. Deuces.